Oh! I didn't see you there. Sorry, guys. I was busy doing something very important. Alright guys, so like I was saying in the last video, I'm making a series of videos, 4 videos in total, one showing each of these lists and how they work. So let's go over this one. Last time I talked about consistency, and again these lists will be consistency, higher mana curve, mid-range, and speed, hyper-aggro. And this is the one that I'm going to be talking about, the hyper-aggro. As you can see on the side, I've got the hyper-aggro list that I've come to the conclusion of I think is the best hyper-aggro list. And it could just be me. But this is basically focused completely on speed. This list is as fast as Affinity, if not a bit more stable than Affinity, and really just is blindingly fast. It's a bit more, on the con side, it's a bit more unstable as the consistency zoo that I showed off in the first video, but it manages to really just win some games off of sheer speed, like where you shouldn't be winning. It can do turn 3 wins, and it very consistently does turn 4 wins. And some of the top decks aren't the greatest, though. Like, Vexing Devil is not the best top deck in the world. Experiment 1, not a good top deck, and Burning Tree Emissary, not a good top deck. But Experiment 1, Burning Tree Emissary, and Vexing Devil are great in your opening hand, so, you know, take it for what it's worth. The list has 30 creatures here, which I think is a good place to be. You can probably go up to 32 with more Vexing Devils if you really feel like it. With the fact that you're not going to need to worry about Deathrite Shaman really doing anything. But for Burning Tree Emissary, because that is really great for... hold on one sec. The sun is starting to set. For Burning Tree Emissary is really great for just speeding out starts. Experiment 1, there's really no other talk. We talked about this. It's basically another Wild Nocatl that can evolve. For Glory Clan Rampager, and that's just to get over the big hump of any big blocker and get the last couple points in that you need. For Goblin Guide, because Goblin Guide will hit for 6 damage a turn in this kind of deck. For Curdape, because Curdape is Curdape. For Tarmogoyf, 2 Vexing Devils. For Wild Nocatl. Why are there no Loom Lions in there? Well, you've got enough things that are going to evolve. Experiment 1, especially with the Burning Tree Emissary in the deck. It's not really necessary to have another 1-drop, I don't think. Especially a 1-drop that's sort of a little off-color in this deck. This deck is still very Gruul. You'll notice the only main deck card that uses white is well, Wild Nocatl, obviously, for the planes, but Path to Exile. So that's the reason why I went with Vexing Devil over that, because Vexing Devil can, for 1 mana, evolve your E1 to a 4/4. Very rarely happens, but the 4 damage is worth it anyways. For Tarmogoyf, because Tarmogoyf's awesome, told you about the Vexing Devil, Wild Nocatl doesn't need any explanation. 2 Rancors. I felt 2 Rancors is the right amount for this. You could probably go to 3 if you really wanted to. But it gives me more or less 6 Gore Clan Rampager effects, and that's all I really think I need. For Lightning Bolt, because Lightning Bolt is Lightning Bolt. 3 Path to Exile, it's sort of a cure-all answer and gets big fatties out of the way. So not only do you have 4 Gore Clan Rampagers, but you've got 3 Path to Exiles to really get over the hump for big creatures. Down to 19 lands. As you'll see, I don't have any 3-drops in this list, so I've got no reason to. Pillar of Flames is rounding out the burn, and that's just strictly for Finks. I could use Forked Bolt if I was more worried about fairies, which I'm not one at all, because this will just outspeed them. And Pillar of Flames will feed Goyf as well as kills Finks, and that's huge and scary. If you look at the lands, it's pretty easy. 19 lands. There's nothing special about these lands. They're all just mana lands. 3 basics like normal, about 10 shocks like normal, 10 fetches like normal, and 3, 2, 1, so 6 shocks. cutting down lands. I wouldn't actually put any special lands in if you're going anything under 19. It's just you need the mana. Sideboard is still totally, you can take a peek at it. It's still totally a work in progress. Things can get cut. Thalia could probably get cut. Thalia is a little bit better in this list because you're running 30 creatures and only like 9 spells. So, well, 10 I guess. It's worth having. Stony Silence is very good if you're in white. Vines of Fastwood and Boros Charm. You'll see there's a ton of them. That's because this deck doesn't like removal at all. Granted, it can generally go a little faster than removal, but you still want to do your removal. And these both have the upside of being basically 2 mana, 4 damage burn spells, so that's good on its own. I don't think I need to talk any more about it. It's just it's a really fast list. What it doesn't make up in late game, it makes up in early game explosion. And since I'm doing this at like 3, we're hopeful that there's like a modern. There's a ton of modern. Competitive, sure. I think we're competitive at this point, right? Although we might get kicked out because it might be like, no, Bands is still around. I don't really care if he's doing something with ban list in it either. No big deal. Hey, 18! Strong roll! Whoa! I'm winning all the rolls on these videos. I should just video things more often. Watch me draw a crappy hand. Actually, it's not that bad. Got 3 lands, which is the top end of lands that I'd want. We got a Gore-Clan Rampager, a removal spell for Finks and whatnot, as well as 2 beaters. So that's good with me. Yeah, so we'll keep. I would not trade it away for a probably worser hand. Now, there is one thing to note when you're putting out a Wild Nocatl right away, which I am in fact doing. That is, Wild Nocatl is a 2/2, so it can get disfigured right now. So it might be safer to lead with the Curd Ape, but even though you could lead with the Curd Ape, meh. It's definitely worth it just to hit the extra point of damage. And I'm not gonna. If he's got a Bolt, like, because Bolt is the better answer than Disfigure. I'd rather her get hit with a Bolt right now. I mean, I guess Curd Ape could get hit with a Bolt too, but it's like it's one of those risky things. So I drew another land here, not necessarily what I wanted to draw. So I'm gonna put out this, and I'm gonna go ahead and I guess crack it right now, right? Yeah, I'm not even gonna pretend like I've got Gore-Clan, which I could pretend, but there's no real reason to. I don't want to hurt myself more. So I'm gonna go grab a Temple Garden. Temple Garden. And swing here. It's not like he can gut shot it or anything, you know? And I'll be pretending, quote unquote, that I've got the Gore-Clan next turn. It's just, I don't know. I don't feel like shocking myself just to pretend like I've got a Gore-Clan when he's got no response to it. See Beyond. What is... Oh, I guess this guy might be playing like a Polymorph deck, right? That's like the only thing I can think of a See Beyond being useful for. Yeah, I don't think it's Storm. And if it is Storm, then I need to get my ass in gear. Just gonna go ahead and attack here. Put down the Arid Misa. This will drop into 12 anyways. Put down the Arid Misa, and then I'll put a Tarmogoyf out there. Should put him down to 5, take away 7. Yeah, 12. Okay, that's fine. Put the Arid Misa out here. Cast the Tarmogoyf. Tarmogoyf currently is a 2/3, and that's not going to change anytime soon. But hey, if he plays any form of instant spell, then suddenly it goes way up. Also, I can discard Gore-Clan Rampager to it, so it'll be a 3/4 at least on my attack. He can, yeah, and it's unboltable right now. This is a big thing to note, is that Tarmogoyf currently is unboltable. Even if you were to bolt it, it'd turn into a 3/4 before damage were to take full effect. That's so cute. I have a dog behind me. She's just chilling. She's like, doesn't want to be seen. Taxian probe. Sure, you can see what's in my hand. Pay your mana first. Oh, wait, hold on. You slide a hand to the... Okay, sure, whatever, that's fine. I mean, taking 2... Yeah, he's got to be a Storm deck, right? That's the only deck I can think of that would use Sea Beyond and Taxian probe. I don't think it's Delver. Ooh, unpopular. Scalding Tarn. If he puts out the Goblin Electromancer, Pyretic Ritual, sure, he's going up to 3. I mean, he can try to outstorm me. That's definitely a possibility. But it might also falter. So had I Gorklan Rampagered, he would have been at like, he would have been at what? 3. So it would. Let's see if that would have actually made a difference here. I didn't want to Gorklan Rampager unless I knew that he was Storm, and I didn't have a clear understanding he was Storm. I had an idea that he might be Storm, but I didn't think he would be Storm. And if he empties the Wardens here, no big deal, no harm, no foul. Let's see here. Oh, we got instances now too, so Tarmogoyf does get the buff to 3/5/4. Let's see here. I mean, he's down to what, 2 mana? That's not a good thing for him at all. I mean, he could Metamorphose, but that's he's getting that Storm count up, but Storm count currently can kill 1 or 2 of my things without actually making me die. So we'll see. Taps the mountain. So Pyric Ritual brings him back to 3, but the big thing is he needs blue to really function. Okay, so he's got the Metamorphose. Sure. Let's see what he does with it. Good game. Yeah, so he melted. Usually, again, you can't really combo off on turn 3. It's just not necessarily the best thing to... It happens. So Thalia is really great here. The reason I had it in here is because Bad said Storm might be worth looking at. So I'm gonna toss the Thalia's in. Now, here's the real thing. Question is, what do I take out for Storm? Taps Shush. Path to Exile is not good because he's only got maybe 5 creatures tops. Destructive Revelry is probably better because he probably has what do you call it in there? Goblin Electromancer, which means I'm going to keep the Lightning Bolts. I'm actually going to take out the Rancors and put back in the Pillar Flames. And I think that's what we do. We're not going to side in any Graveyard Hate right now, especially since we're up 1 game. Actually, you know what? I am going to sideboard in the Graveyard Hate. I'm going to actually take out 2 Tarmogoyfs. Whoa, I'm taking Tarmogoyfs out. Because at worst, I can use them to kill the Metamorphose in his graveyard, which will screw him. Thalia and 1 land. It's risky. I have till turn. I'm on the play, and I've got till turn 3 really to get that Thalia down. So I'm actually going to keep this because Thalia will win the game if I put it out there. And I can still hit some things with Curdape and Goblin Guide. Though the question is here, what do I do? Do I keep a green? Aha! There's the land! There's the land! We needed that land. I'm just going to go ahead and right now put that Curdape out there. Pass the turn. Big fucking whoop. You can go ahead and grab it if he wants. I usually just pass the turn before I even put my land out there. He bolts it. That's fine. He can waste his bolt. I don't mind. Next turn, I'm 100% going to put out a Thalia. And I'm going to get a Temple Garden for this too. I know, yeah, I've got a lot of red. But it makes more sense to put out the Thalia. I'm going to go ahead and swing right here. See if he does anything with it. I would love to bait a bolt. That would be fine in my head. But yeah, I'm going to grab the Thalia here. At worst, it forces him to use his... oops. At worst, it forces him to use his... hopefully not bolt, but actually... unless he's got, like, Remands, which I don't think he would have. He could have like a counterspell, but this forces a uphill battle anyways. The hope is that he uses something like what do you call it? Like Grape Shot on it, because then he loses one of his things. So experiment 1 here is kind of cool. I think what I do is I probably experiment 1 Curdape. Or, no, I experiment 1 Goblin Guide. That's definitely the better idea. Alright, so yeah, he takes 6 damage, goes to 10, but then draws a land. Big whoop. I don't care that he draws a land. Lands are pretty much useless in his hands anyways. Yes, he can go ahead and try to counteract Thalia, but it's not that Thalia is killing his first spell. It's killing his... Sure. But we brought him down to, like, 9 life, so he can't really do what he did last time, which was take a lot of life off of free spells. Impossible. That's probably very possible. Sure, red. See, the Thalia at least messed him up for a little while. That was worth noting. I'm just gonna go ahead and take a storm count, because fuck it, I can do that. So he's at 2 mana and, well, 3 mana, and I haven't seen any of his ritual spells. And we do know he has at least 1 land in hand. From this series, I'm doomed to lose this. My draws. I mean, you did draw a lot too, so I'm not like too surprised. Yeah, it's fine. Happens. I mean, I didn't draw a 3rd land, so whatever. Yeah, I don't care. It happens. Mana screw totally happens. You probably shouldn't have kept a hand with like 3 lands then. That seemed dumb. Dude, whatever. You're arguing. Yeah, 3. Could have kept a shorter hand. You should have mulled. Yeah, 4. Should have mulled when you saw 4. Yeah, and speaking of mulls, yeah, I mull 1 land hands, usually with the exception of that one, because I had the Thalia, and I went through the reasoning about why I thought I should keep it. But yeah, like 1 or 2 lands, it happens. So cool, I'm just going to concede here. Game, and pop out of it. Yeah, my deck is aggro, that's very true. Anyways, the truth is, when you get 4 lands in a Storm hand, don't keep it. You know what your deck does. You know you're supposed to only function with 2 lands. 3 tops, but you got a little bit of a draw to get there. So mull it. I mean, that's a same deal with that. I said that I do it because aggro does that, but that's I need it to function. I need 2 lands to function. Even in this hyper fast zoo list, which can function on 1, not really reliably or impressively, you'd still much rather have 2 lands to function. So you guys saw that was pretty good. Thalia really just blew him out anyways because, well, he had to get the answer. I don't know if the answer was in his opening, but whatever. He did Serum Visions though, like, so he could have put lands on the ground. I don't know why he didn't. I don't know. That seems weird. I would have led with the Serum Vision. Whatever. Regardless, just showing what this deck was capable of. You could see, like, turn 3, I got him down to, like, 9, even with, quote-unquote, wasting tempo by playing a Thalia. And that's just how this deck runs. It's just super fast. I might actually be able to get 1 more game in. Let's go ahead and do this post-banned one, which is probably, like... whatever. Which is probably like, I thought it was going to be like a fairies or something. Oh, I wanted to play losers. I want to play loser. Oh, I can still play loser. Cool. No, it's only open to his buddies, and I'm not his buddy. He does not like me, is what I'm getting at. It's certainly a fair amount of people who do not like me, though. Let's see if this guy rolls. What? No, I didn't click that button. Alright, this guy didn't do anything, so we're Xing out of his room. Hey! Rolls a 20! Oh my god, he rolled so powerful. Crit. I got critted over here. Yeah, it's fine. It's like a fine hand. I got 2 removal, 2 lands, even though one of them is plains, which isn't necessarily what I like in my opening. I'd rather fetch for plains. But whatever, I can still get Stomping Ground and fully power out a Curd Ape, and this land acts as a 4th land to... Oh, he's doing the actual draws. I was like, what are you doing drawing so much? But I can still fully pull out the Tarmogoyf. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to get to 2 different games here, but I guess I can get to 2 different games because, right. I can definitely get to 2 games, I guess, because this deck is so fast. It really is just stupidly fast. And it has a lot less inconsistencies in openers than Affinity does. The downside is Shadowborn Apostle. What are you doing? Alright, well, hopefully we can show how fast this deck is. Hey, look at that. I got a different land. I'm okay with that, too. No, don't do the Arid Mesa. Bad, Andrew. Bad. Oh, so bad. No, don't look at the top cards either. I haven't been mind censored yet. Stomping Ground. Alright, so we open off with the Curd Ape. No bigs, no bigs. A deck may have any number of this. He's trying to, like, make there be 6, which I guess reliably, if he's using everything that is this, he could do turn 3. Except we have a bolt to not let him do it turn 3, and by turn 4 we should have him already dead. Generally speaking. Yeah, especially if he powers out 2 more right here. I'm going to go ahead and bolt one of them. Yeah, I'm going to bolt one of them. Oh, wait, what? Oh, hey, look at that. Yeah, cool. That Path to Exile suddenly got way better. Sure. My Path to Exile just gotten awesome here. And okay. I'm gonna crack this for a Temple Garden. I'm actually hurting myself. I'm well aware that I'm hurting myself here, though. I've got a opportunity to thin out my deck. I could have just done the plains, but I wanted to not do that. Pop. I have an opportunity to jump his stuff. I mean, he's probably filled with Shadowborn Apostles, so I assume that he is going to be able to play 4 next turn, which doesn't necessarily worry me too much because I can go ahead and Lightning Bolt it. Truthfully, I may have decided to keep the Experiment 1 open, but he's only got 2 cards in hand, so like I'm not worried about what's going on with his stuff now. I'm glad I added that Path to Exile, otherwise I would have whooped. Yeah, I would have been screwed if I didn't have that Path to Exile. Shit. I would have just been like, that's one of those things, you do like some kind of combo, and it's big, I guess. So what, 3 Shadowborn Apostles? Sure. No big deal. Control-Shift-D. So what we got here is Burning Tree and Bashari. Whether I want to cast that is maybe an answer to a question. He's not reliably going to get 6 next turn anyway, so I think I do cast it. And then I cast Tarmogoyf, who is now 3/4. I think that's what we do. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we do. Which pumps Experiment 1 up to 3/3. And we swing for 5. You can chump block, I don't care. If you guys chump block all 3 on the Experiment 1, that's fine with me. So that plains was a little awkward. Usually you'd rather just draw. Or not draw the plains, you'd rather fetch for the plains. Because like Bolt here would be huge. I don't think he can win. What can he draw? I guess he could draw the 6/6, but even then I can just run over him, right? I mean, is that what he's thinking? Is he thinking good game? Good game time? Is it good game time? Good game time. Do you lose 2 life from poison counters or lose the game when he gets to 10 poison counters? No poison. It's 1/1 counters. I mean, you lose the game next turn, but whatever. I don't know why a creature would have poison counters on them. Creatures can have wither counters on them. Play your Shadowborn thingamajiggy. Oh, it's a land. It's even worse. It's even worse. It's even worser. Bolting one of those creatures does the same thing as bolting him. No big deal. I do have a Rancor coming up that I accidentally saw. And I guess he decided to leave. So that's fine. Assuming he doesn't come back in 5 seconds, what I could do, and that was turn 3. Yes, because I have 3 lands out. So turn 4, I would put a Rancor on probably my Tarmogoyf, and I would swing here. And I'd still have, oh, and then I'd also have the Goblin Guide. So let's assume that I could take my turn. Hey Mastodon, I didn't see you were in this game. I hope you watched my video and now you're famous. Assuming that, yeah, he's not coming back because he's sad with his life. It just shows what this deck could do. I untap. Go ahead and Rancor up the Tarmogoyf. Although I guess I could bolt too for extra measure. Turning Tarmogoyf into a 5/4. Then I Goblin Guide. And I swing, right? And the best thing he can do here is blocking the Tarmogoyf doesn't do anything now. So he's going to want to block the Experiment 1. He's going to want to block, I guess, something like this. Big whoop. Which means I still hit him for 7 exact, bringing him to dead. On the next turn, I would have Lightning Bolt, and I would be able to double bolt him even if that didn't go everything needed to go. So, yeah. Turn 4, I managed to swing for how much? And let's assume that this Plains was an actual mountain, and I didn't get unlucky. I still swung for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 13, and 2 bolts with on the 4th turn. So that's pretty cool. That's this deck is way too fast. Again, like I said, I don't really like it as much as I like the Consistent Zoo, because as you saw, like, I top-decked Experiment 1, I top-decked Burning Tree Emissary, and they were only marginal during that. And I kind of like the idea that consistency is maybe a little bit better than explosiveness, especially because I'm not a big fan of Affinity. If I really liked explosiveness, I would play more Affinity. Anyways, guys, yeah, so that's the fast seal. Go ahead and leave comments, subscribe, questions, whatever you want to do. Hit me up on MTG Salvation if you want to talk about the list. And remember to feed your animals, guys. Okay, now I'm ready to record.